Hi guys, good morning. Who's here? Say your name. Whoa, 3 at a time. Hey Eileen, you're the first one. Hi Ray. I like what you built. I've seen it on Facebook, it's beautiful. Hi Irma. Hi Irma. It was so good to see you yesterday. Irma made her first Aleph Mem Shin TikTok with the effect that Rabbeinu Yirah Hari had created on TikTok. And it came out really good. Hi Betty. Hi Sydney. Hi Sydney. Boker Tov. Boker Or. Just give it a few more seconds. I hear the birds outside. There was a huge fog about 10 minutes ago that lifted in Arafel. It was in Arafel. It was huge, dense, and now the sun is here. And it's getting lighter earlier, which is nice. Okay. No, you're a pro at TikTok. Irma, I forgot to tell you, you could choose your song. You don't have to do the song that comes up. I forgot to show you that feature. Maybe Sarah could help you. Anyway, everyone should make an Aleph Mem Shin video today. Let's spread the light of Hashem together. It's the most important thing you can do. So today, what's today? Today, hi Stephen. Hi guys. Hi guys. Hi Susan. Grand Rising. Today is Thursday. Today is Thursday, March 6th, 2025. And we are smack in the middle of the greatest story Hashem ever told. The Ein Sof Baruch Hu ever told. I actually decided last minute. Hi Des. I decided last minute. Actually, my sister Miriam called me up last week and she's like, do you want to go to the Quantum Summit? And I was like, if you're going, I'll go. Because Mel Carmine has been asking me for a little while to join him and Amber. And it was hectic with the baby being born and the wedding is in less than a month. The wedding is coming up April 3rd, God willing. So it's like crunch time over here. But when Miriam calls, man, I love spending time with Miriam. So I'm going. We're flying out today down to Cape Canaveral. And I'll be back Sunday night. Probably will go live Tuesday instead of Monday. But I will post a notice to Facebook and the other groups and let you guys know. Okay, we're at 13 people. Let's go. Today we're reading, and also next week is Purim on Friday. So in anticipation and excitement and readiness, getting ready for Purim, we're going to read the Sod, the secrets of the book of Esther, as written by Yirah Hari, Rabbeinu Yirah Hari. But before I do that, I want to do two things. I want to share with you an amazing thought, probably the best thing I ever heard Rabbeinu Yirah say so far. He has, I think of him as like a magician with the endless pull trick, you know, the endless napkin that comes out of the sleeve. He just has an endless supply of the highest Torah at all times. And he just pulls it out of his sleeve like it's nothing, like it's easy for him. So what did he tell me last Friday? And then the second thing I want to do is a little chazara, a little review of Likutei Yirah, the section about the forms, because it's going to be really crucial, a key to understanding Megillas Esther. So first, let me tell you what he told me on Friday in a phone conversation. It was the day when all the planets were aligned, which happens, I think, he said, once every 300 years. And it's a time where we are subjected more to the mazalot, to the astral influences, because of that alignment. And he said we entered a very dangerous time of bohu, chaos, where if you're not careful, you could blow out. Were his words. You could blow a gasket emotionally. So you have to remember to reach for, you guys know by now, reach past the Olam Yetzirah, the world of the forms, higher and higher and higher, through Beria, through Atzilus, all the way to the Ein Sof. Using the names of Hashem, climb the ladder of the tree. So he said to me, I actually wrote it down right after we hung up, so I would try to remember most of it. He said to me, we all die every day. Sleep is 1/10 of death, yes? So what does that teach us? It teaches us that every day we are born brand new, a new life. And also every day, a different angel, malach, minister, rules. He also said because the Ein Sof withdrew itself, the tzimtzum, the Ein Sof is withdrawn. Here comes the good part. Each person must invite and reinvite the Ein Sof Baruch Hu every day, like every minute of every day. And how do we do this? We do this first thing in the morning when we say Modeh Ani Lefanecha Melech Chai V'Kayam Shehechazarta Binishmasi V'Chamla Rabba Emunasecha. Modeh Ani is a tzaruf of the Ein, is a permutation of the Ein. So we are immediately Modeh, acknowledge. Modeh means to thank. It also means in Hebrew to acknowledge. Immediate acknowledgement. When you open your eyes, immediate acknowledgement and reconnection, you are hooking and sinking back into the Ein Sof. What does this do for you? It puts you above the influences of the planet, the planetary influence, the astral influence. It puts you out of their dominion, outside their dominion. You rule them, they don't rule you. And he said, just because you had the Ein Sof yesterday, because you died and went to sleep, you don't necessarily have it again today. So every single day, you must reconnect yourself. Let me see if there's anything else I wrote down. Oh, he said, because if you aren't connected to the Ein Sof, you're back in your snake daddy. Your snake daddy, which are the 6 forms, the snakes. And you can wind up killing things in your path because you turn yourself into a spinning sword. The forms can become a spinning sword, similar to the spinning sword outside of that keeps you out of Gan Eden. You can begin cutting other people down with your forms. And he said, this is why he says in Likutei Yirah, let my words not forsake you or leave your eyes even for an instant. Even for an instant. You have to constantly, when you feel yourself lose connection, come back to the connection to the Ein. Modeh Ani. I'll never say Modeh Ani the same again, ever. That was such a game changer for me. And I'm so happy to be able to share that with you. Let us go into Likutei Yirah and do a little review session on the forms. And then we'll go into Megillas Esther. that big enough? Okay, I think so. Okay, here we go. Gate 4, the 7 forms. Okay, so you have your Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara. And you have all, this is the world of forms, the world of Yetzirah right above us, the world of the planets, the astral. And then you have us, dude with a goatee and dude with a mustache. But they see in each other the Aleph Mem Shin, and they recognize the divine pattern in each other, and they could be civilized to each other. Yetzirah, says Rabbeinu Yirah Ha'ari, he teaches in his Likutei Yirah Sefer 9. In the world of Yetzirah, we learned in Gate 3, it is comprised of 6 Sfirot, Chesed through Yisod. And now we will discuss why it also includes Malchus as the seventh in the secret of Proverbs 6:16, Hine Sheish Hashem Saneh V'Sheva To'evos. There are 6 Hashem hates and 7 that are idols. I will now declare these 7 idols, and in doing so, we will become aware of the 7 aspects of Yetzirah, which are expressed by 6. Our sages said of these 7 idols in Gittin 88a, Israel was not exiled until the 7 royal houses had worshipped idolatry. These are the 7 houses of idolatry. Chesed, spirit form. Gevura, desire form. And he's going to describe these in the Megillah, you guys, so pay attention. Tiferes, holy form. Netzach, soul form. Hod, emotion forms. Yesod, mental form. Malchus, physical form. Thus, the world of Yetzirah is called formation, in that these forms as a collective move upon and form Asiya, which is called reality, as discussed in Gate 1. We will now identify and discuss these forms, each in depth, and learn about these vessels and the dimensions of Yetzirah. And here we have a diagram, a picture, showing us where these different forms exist. This is the Olam HaYetzirah. I'm going to read one more section to you guys. I'm going to skip down a little bit. These are collectively called the chariot, in that the true individual, you and me, the true individual, which is a spark of the Ein Sof, the endless, you and I are each sparks of the Ein Sof. From above Yetzirah, our home, we derive from above Yetzirah, but we express ourselves through the 7 forms in Yetzirah. A rider is not his chariot. A rider is not his chariot. So too, the individual is not these forms. Rather, the individual expresses themselves through these forms, through these vessels that are the chariot, which forms reality. Yetzirah forms Asiya. Chesed, spirit, we have a spirit, we are not our spirit. Gevura, desire, we have desires, we are not our desires, etc., etc. You are the choice between these forms and actions. Okay, you are, this is you and me. We're the choice, we're the choice point. Okay, I think that was all I wanted to say. Okay, hi Sharon, hi Chase. Who else is here? Okay, let's go to the Megillah. Okay. The Sod of the book of Esther as revealed by Yirah Ha'ari. Forward. You got it out, Chase? Did you print it? Page 1. The following treatise is for reading on Purim, and for the elevation of the sparks of all whom read this treatise. There is much that could be added to this text. However, for the sake of clear communication, what has been revealed is done in such a way that what is necessary for the inner levels are made known. And then he gives a key. The term king, and everything in Zohar, I learned this from Rabbi Gozlan, everything in Zohar is a decode. Once you know what word means what, I think Rabbi Gozlan spent like 4 classes, maybe more, explaining how to decode using the different keys, different words. What means what? The term king refers to the heart. As the Zohar states in Bereshis A, the king down below is the center pillar. That is Tiferes, the heart. Achashverosh is Shoresh Ach. He is the root of the other side, the Sitra Achra. 7 refers to the 7 forms that we just read. Yetzirah, Chesed through Yesod, the Midot, etc. Vashti, who's Vashti? Vashti represents the soul. Haman represents the intellect. Esther, meaning hidden, represents the hidden light of the soul. Mordechai is the good inclination, the ruach in holiness, the Yetzer Tov. The palace, what is the palace? Is our collective identity. Shushan, where it takes place, the town where it takes place, meaning rose, refers to Bina, Shoshana, and the brain, i.e. the mind. Jew, Yehuda, Yehudi, refers to the name of Hashem. An example, when Yud Kei Vav Kei is connected with the soul. An example, Daled, connection to Hashem, the 4 letters of Yud Kei Vav Kei. Because the word Yehuda is Yud Kei Vav Kei plus a Daled. The 7 eunuchs are the 7 forms. Whenever it says people, it means experiences within the forms. This is dedicated, says Rabbeinu Yirah, to my wife, Rachel, Rose, my 2 sons, Alaya, Atreyu, and my daughter, Areya. May reading this text on Purim always bless you on this special holiday. A special thank you to Aleph, Benny, Malachi, Gilly, Shlomo, Garment, Shaul, and the friends. May you all be blessed by this text. Okay, page 2. It happened in the days of Achashverosh that Achashverosh, the root of the other side, the heart, who reigned over 127 provinces. 127 is the value of Hachasadim, the Chasidim. Cush is the second river of Gihon, the chest of the statue and the heart. From India, Mehodu, from his Hod, from his emotion form, to Nubia, Medina. The word Medina is Ma-din, 45 din, which has the value of Zeh Hagufa. This is the body. As the heart, the king, rules the body, represented by the word Medina. In those days when the king, the heart, Achashverosh, rooted in the other side, occupied the royal throne, the mind, in the fortress Shushan, Bina called Shushan, rose the mind, meaning when the heart rules over the understanding. In the 3rd year of his reign, the 3rd sphere Tiferes, called the heart, he gave a banquet all the officials and the courtiers. The heart gave to the forms all they desire. The heart gave to the forms all they desire. The forms were fed. The administration of Persia and Media, the second kingdom, the chest is silver, which is the heart at the time of the Hasidim, which is the silver, an example when the heart simply follows love and desire. The nobles and the governors of the provinces in his service of the seven forms. For no fewer than 180 days, 100 refers to Asiya, the body, and 80 refers to Bina, the intellect. Meaning when the heart, an example, the body rules the intellect, okay? When you're letting your heart, your body, rule your intellect. He displayed the vast riches, the experiences of the kingdom, the collective identity, and the splendid glory of His Majesty, the accomplishments. At the end of this period, experiences, the king, the heart, gave a banquet for 7 days, the experiences of the forms. In the court of the king's palace, the heart's collective identity, for all the people, the forms who lived in the fortress Shushan, the mind, high and low alike. Page 3. There were hangings of 7 forms and their there were hangings of, meaning 7 forms and their collective psalms of experiences, the barnacle-crusted vessels of every experience you've ever had, through which we filter our daily life and have misperceptions and skewed realities. White cotton and blue wool, caught up by cords of fine linen and purple wool to silver rods and alabaster columns. There were couches of gold and silver on pavement of marble, alabaster, mother of pearl, and mosaics. Royal wine, wine that rejoices the heart, in example, desires, served in abundance as befits a king, the heart, in golden beakers, the head of gold, Babylon, beakers of varied design. And the rule for the drinking was no restrictions, meaning the heart's indulgence without restrictions. For the king, the heart, had given orders to every palace. The heart gave orders to the 7 forms to comply with each man's wishes, each of the 7 forms' wishes. Gam Vashti Hamalka, in addition, Vashti, the soul comes in now, gave a banquet for women meaning what is required by the soul, in the royal palace, the collective identity. The king Achashverosh, of the king Achashverosh, the heart rooted in the other side, the dark side. On the 7th day, meaning the soul, when the king, the heart, was merry with wine, desires, he ordered Mehuman Bizisa Charvona Bigsa Vyavaksa Zasa Vakarkas, the 7 eunuchs, the 7 forms in attendance of the king, the heart, rooted in the other side, to bring Vashti, the soul, before the king, the heart, wearing a royal diadem, its perfected state, Keter, the soul's perfected state of Keter. He wanted to display her beauty, lights, the soul's lights, to the people's forms and the officials' ideas, for she was a beautiful woman. But Vashti, the soul, what did she do? We all know, she refused to come at the king's command, at the heart's desire, conveyed by the eunuchs, the 7 forms. The king, the heart, was greatly incensed, bewildered, and his fury, his anger burned within him, his heart. Page 4. Then the king, the heart, consulted the sages Who are the sages? The sum of experiences in the forms. It's never good to consult those. Learned in procedure, for it was the royal practice to turn to all who were versed in law and precedent. His closest advisors were Karshina, spirit form. Thanks for following along, Chase. Page 4. Okay, his closest advisors were Karshina, spirit form, Shesar, desire form, Admasa, higher self, Tarshish, soul form, Meres, emotion form, Marcina, mental form, Memuchan, who's Memuchan, physical form, and the 7 ministers, 7 forms of Persia, the heart, and Media, who had access to the royal presence, which is the collective identity. The 7 forms have access, give access to the collective identity, and occupy the first place in the kingdom, the body. The body. The forms expressed through the body. What he asked shall be done according to the law, personal understanding, skewed understanding, to Queen Vashti, the soul, for failing to obey the command, the desire of the king Ahasuerus, the heart rooted in the other side, conveyed by the 7 eunuchs, the forms. Thereupon, Memuchan, the body, Mumkan, meaning deficiency, there's a blemish here, declared in the presence of the king, the heart, and the minister, the forms. So the body declared in the presence of the heart and the forms. Queen Vashti, the soul, has committed an offense by disagreeing not only with your majesty, the heart, but also against all the officials, the 7 forms. Okay, the soul violated the heart and the 7 forms. And against all the people, also against the sum of experiences in all the provinces, understandings of the king Ahasuerus, the heart rooted in the other side. For the queen, the soul, her behavior will make all lives, all the different parts of the soul inside the forms, despise their husbands, the forms, right? The soul was showing them who they were, and they didn't like it. As they reflect that king Ahasuerus, as the forms are reflecting the heart rooted in the other side. Himself ordered Queen Vashti, Ahasuerus ordered Vashti, the soul, to be brought before him, the heart, but she would not come. This very day, the ladies, the lights of the soul in each form, the lights of the soul, each form has the light of the soul. The ladies of Persia and Madai, who had heard of the queen, the soul's behavior, will cite it to all your majesty's officials, the forms, and there will be no end of scorn and provocation. Meaning she's setting a bad example by leading with her soul. The forms don't like that. If it please your majesty, the heart, let a royal edict be issued by you, and let it be written into the laws of Persia, the chest, and Media, so that it cannot be abrogated, that Vashti, the soul, shall never enter the presence of King Ahasuerus, the heart rooted in the other side. They wanted her gone. And let, page 5, and let your majesty, the heart, bestow her royal state rule upon another who is more worthy than she. Then will the judgment desire executed by your majesty, the heart, then the desire of your heart will resound throughout the realm, the forms. They wanted to go back to being ruled by desire, the desire of the forms, vast though it is. And all wives, parts of the soul, will treat their husband, the forms, with respect, high and low alike. The proposal was approved by the king, the heart, and the ministers, the forms. And the king did as mumkan, the body when it is deficient, proposed. Dispatches, desires were sent to all the provinces, the forms. They all got a notice that we're not changing of the king, the heart, to every province in its own script, individual form, and to every nation, collective sum of experience, in its own language, meaning the emotion form, mental form, to every man form, every man form should wield authority, understanding in his home, collective experience, and speak the language, emotion, mental, desire, etc., that we just read before at the beginning, all those 6 forms of his own people, 7 forms. Okay, they wanted to keep things exactly as it was. They wanted to keep operating from inside the forms. Chapter 2. Achar hadvar ha'ela kisho chamas hamelech Achashverosh zachar es Vashti v'es asher asasa v'es asher nigzar aleha. Sometime afterward, when the anger of the king Achashverosh, the heart rooted in the other side, subsided, what happened? He thought of Vashti, the soul, and what he had done to her. Rejected the desires, and what she had done, sorry. And what she had done. What did she do? The soul, she rejected the desires of the heart. That was her offense. And what had been decreed against her? The king's servants, the heart and the forms, the heart's forms, who attended him said, let beautiful young virgins, external pleasures, be sought out for your majesty. Let your majesty, the heart, appoint officers, desires in every province, in every form of your realm, of your collective identity, to assemble all the beautiful young virgins, external pleasures, at the fortress Shushan, the mind, in the harem under the supervision of Hegai, Sris HaMelech. Lust. Who is Hegai? Hegai represents lust. The king's eunuch form, guardian of the women, external pleasure. Let them be provided with their cosmetics. This is the Megillat Esther, the story of Queen Esther. According to the deepest level, this is the deepest, innermost understanding of the text. King Eagle, Kingly Eagle Eagle. I like that name. We're on page 6 at the top. And let the maiden external pleasure, who pleases your majesty, the heart, let the external pleasure that pleases the heart be queen instead of Vashti, the soul. The proposal pleased the king, the heart, and he acted upon it. In the fortress Shushan, the mind, lived a Jew, a connection to Hashem, by the name of Mordechai, good inclination. So in the mind lived a connection to Hashem, named Yetzer Tov, good inclination. Ben Yair ben Shimi ben Kish Ish Yemini. Kish had been exiled from Jerusalem, the divine world, in the group that was carried into exile along with King Yechaniah of Yehuda. Holiness in connection to Hashem, which had been driven into exile by King Nebuchadnezzar of Bavel, the mind, Babylon, the head of gold. So the divine world was driven out into exile from holiness and connection to Hashem by the mind. That is the decode on that. Mordechai, he was foster father to Hadassah, by he Omenes Hadassah, he Esther Bastodo. Okay, he was foster father, Chachma to Hadassah. Hadassah is value Chachma also. That is, Esther who is the hidden light of the soul, the pneumius, the innermost light of the soul, is Esther, meaning hidden. His uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother. She did not have wisdom nor understanding. The maiden, this hidden light of the soul, was shapely and beautiful. The hidden light of the soul was shapely and beautiful. And when her father, wisdom, and mother, understanding, died, I just understood that. And when her father and mother died, what happened? Mordechai, the good inclination, adopted her as his own daughter. When we were disconnected from Chachma and Bina, we could only rely on our Yetzer Tov. That's what I understood. Oh, that's a cute connection, Chase. Esther, esoteric. I like that. I should have named the class that, the esoteric Esther. When the king's order, the heart's desire, and edict was proclaimed, and when many girls' external pleasures were assembled, in the fortress Shushan, in the mind, external pleasures were assembled in the mind, under the supervision of lust, Hege, Esther, the hidden light of the soul, too, was taken into the heart, the king's palace, under the supervision of lust. The girl, the hidden light of the soul, pleased him, the heart, and won his favor. And he, the heart, hastened to furnish her with cosmetics, adornment, and rations, time, as well as with the 7 maids, parts of the soul, inside the 7 forms, who were her due from the king's palace. They were her due from the heart's collective identity. Meaning the soul, here's the soul coming back to reclaim the parts of itself trapped inside the 7 forms. And he treated her, the hidden light of the soul, and her maids, the desire for these lights stuck amidst the forms, with special kindness in the harem, in the external pleasures, trapped inside these external pleasures. Page 7. Lo higida Esther es amah v'es moladeta, ki Mordechai tziva aleha asher lo tagid. Esther, the hidden part of the soul, did not reveal her people, her connection to Hashem. She kept it to herself, or her kindred, for Mordechai, the good inclination, had told her not to reveal it. Every single day, Mordechai, the good inclination, would walk about in front of the court of the harem, the external pleasures, to learn how Esther, the hidden light of the soul, was faring and what was happening to her. The good inclination was worried about the hidden light of the soul because it was trapped inside all those external pleasures. When each girl's, meaning external pleasures, turn came to go to the king, the heart rooted in the other side. At the end of the 12 months, 365 negative precepts, 365 aspects of the flesh, treatment prescribed for women external pleasures, for that was the period spent on beautifying them. 6 months, 6 forms, with oil of myrrh, rejoicing, and 6 months, 6 forms with perfumes, desires, and women's cosmetics, the adornments of external pleasures. It was after that the girl, external pleasure, would go to the king, the heart. Whatever she, that external pleasure, asked for would be given her to take with her from the harem, the external pleasures, to the king's palace, the heart's collective identity. She, the individual pleasure, would go in the evening, the mind, and leave in the morning, the heart, to a second harem in charge of Shashgaz, the king's eunuch, the heart's form, guardian of the concubines, guardian of external pleasures. She would not go again to the king, to the heart, unless the heart wanted her, unless the king wanted her, that individual pleasure, when she would be summoned by name. When the turn came for Esther, the hidden light of the soul, Bas Avichail, the daughter of Avichail, who is the father of life, the uncle of Mordechai, the good inclination, who had adopted her as his own daughter to go to the king, the heart. When the hidden light of the soul was called to the heart, she did not ask for anything but what Haggai, lust, the king's eunuch, the heart's form, guardian of the women, external pleasure, advised. She only listened to what the lust advised. Yet, Esther, the hidden light of the soul, won admiration of all who saw her. V'tehi Esther noses chen be'enei kol ro'eha. Page 8. Esther, the hidden light of the soul, was taken to King Achashverosh, to the heart rooted in the other side, the dark side, in his royal palace, the collective identity, in the 10th month, the body, which is the month of Teves, in the 7th year of his reign, the soul, 7th meaning soul. Okay? There's significance to everything. She was taken in the soul year of his reign, the 7th year. Vaye'ahav hamelech es Esther mikol hanashim. And the king loved Esther more than all the other women. The heart loved the hidden light of the soul more than any external pleasure, and she won his grace and favor more than all the virgins. So he set a royal diadem on her head, the hidden light of her soul, and made her queen, ruler, instead of Vashti, the soul. Vayas hamelech mishteh gadol. And the king, the heart, gave a great banquet, desires for all his officials, his forms and courtiers, collective identities. The banquet of Esther, he called it, the hidden light of the soul, the banquet of the hidden light of the soul. He, the heart, proclaimed a remission of taxes. Doesn't that sound nice? We should have that now. Amen. A remission of taxes for the provinces, and distributed gifts as befits the king, the heart. When the virgins' external pleasures assembled a second time, Mordechai, the good inclination, sat in the palace, in the collective identity's gate. Okay? So we have the good inclination sitting at the gate of the collective identity. But Esther, the hidden light of the soul, still did not reveal her kindred or her people. She did not reveal her connection to Hashem, as Mordechai, the good inclination, had instructed her. For Esther, the hidden light of the soul, obeyed Mordechai, the good inclination's bidding, as she had done when she was under his tutelage. Page 9. At that time, Mordechai, the good inclination, was sitting at the palace gate. Bigsan and Seresh, who are they? the desire form and the emotion form. Desire form and emotion form. I think that's Gevura and Hod. Yeah, Gevura and Hod, the left side. Two of the king's eunuchs, two of the heart's forms, who guarded the threshold, became angry and plotted to do away with King Achashverosh, the heart rooted in the other side. Mordecai, the good inclination, learned of this plot and told it to Queen Esther, the hidden light of the soul. And Esther, the hidden light of the soul, reported it to the heart, to the king, in Mordecai's name, in the good inclination's name. The matter was investigated and found to be so. And these two, Bigsan and Seresh, were impaled on stakes. Ve'kasav b'sefer divrei hayamim l'fnei hamelech. And this was recorded in the book of annals at the instance of the king, the heart. I'm going to end it right here, and we'll pick up on chapter 3 on either Monday or Tuesday, depending how tired I am getting back from Florida. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. And I will see you guys back next week. Have a beautiful Shabbos. Mwah.